Okay, so
Uh,
here's another episode of Savages in Sobriety. We uh we kind of failed on our permissions for recording, so we're in uh we're in the BMW. So bear with us. Um, I got my buddy Paul here. This is this is one of the dudes that started in the Springs. Like he was one of the first guys in the very first house. One of my closest friends. Love this dude to death. Um, So we're going to start out with just what brought you to the program.
okay, what brought me to the
Mm-hmm.
program was get my life back on track. There was a lot of things I wanted my sobriety more than anything. I figured I couldn't do it on my own. I tried doing it when I got out of prison. This time I had a very my mindset when I got out of prison was I can handle it on my own. I can stay sober on my own. And the day out of prison, the first day out of prison, I relapsed. There was no part of sober living to it. That wasn't even a thought in my mind. Shortly after, I had got with another sober living. I'm not going to mention, but I relapsed for about a month. I was hitting it pretty hard, and I moved from Denver to the Springs, and that first sober living house did not work well. So I ended up with Mountain West shortly after, and for something about it, Mountain West, it's something about it worked. It was the connection, the community, just it was working for me, and it gave me a different outlook on life, and I'm very grateful to be in it, and that's what it is right now. Definitely has changed my mindset on things. I'm learning the tools to be able to stay sober. Eventually to be able to long-term sobriety and be able to move on without this um, sober living house. Because that's the main thing is we want to get where we can be able to maintain and function without the community itself. We'll be able to do it on our own and be able to move on with our lives because this is a temporary thing. Anybody in sobriety knows that these houses are meant not to stay permanently. We're meant to build what we need, get what we need out of it, and move on with our lives. And that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. And but I'm a little over 60 days right now, and I feel good about it. I'm even off of my Suboxone. The Mountain West is what's given to me is it's giving me a chance at life again. Because without it, I wouldn't be able to do it. I know myself, I wasn't strong enough at the times and reaching out to my good buddies and you meet really good community, you meet really good guys in the sober living. There, it's not perfect by any means. No system's perfect, but it does work if you work it, like they say. Um, and it's definitely a blessing, man. So I'm just happy to be here and
Absolutely.
happy to be sober minded today. And I got a lot going for me. Really, really happy. Working. I got a job. I got a nice vehicle. I'm able to drive. I got a good girl now. Things are lining up. I got a tight knit circle. So, yeah, it's a blessing for sure. So, anybody out there listening, you can do it. You just got to reach out and get with us. And just if you have any questions, like everybody struggles differently, but there is people out there that want to help you. That see, that you gotta see the hope in it, the faith. You gotta have faith. You gotta have a lot of things, but the more you strive for it, that nobody's gonna give it to you, man. But or women, if you go out there and get it though, there is people out there to help, and we're open arms, and anybody, with hearts of gold. So we don't want to see you struggling, but you got to make that first step to get with somebody, and anybody that that has a good heart that wants to help you. They'll definitely, and if we don't know, we'll lead you in the right direction to somebody that can help you and that get you in the right house. You got to start somewhere. So again, it's progress, and I was saying it earlier, it's progress, not perfection.
Mm-hmm.
And we really strive to just be a better self. Self-love, self-control, self-discipline is all things I practice daily. A lot of routine. Before I didn't have much routine. I just kind of just went with the day. So routine is definitely working. I start with my prayers. I do my push-ups. Then I just start my day at work. I get out the door, and I'm very blessed. And I'm lucky. Like before, I wouldn't have had none of that. So there's still things I struggle with daily. The cravings are still there. Nothing just goes away. I don't have contact with certain people in my life that I want contact with, but these steps are necessary to get what I want in the long run. So it's patience and, and self perseverance, self love, and, just it's not easy, but it will come to you the more you practice it, and just one day at a time. I don't even do a sober date, guys. It's just I'm living for today, and I'm proud I made it sober today, and tomorrow will be the same, Lord willing. So, but whatever works for you works. Just as long as you're sober, that's the main thing. So whatever way you need to get it and how you see it, by all means, go get it, and you are worth it. And and that's just what I have to say today. And I mean, I didn't get a chance to really tell my story, but I got one hell of a story I'd maybe like to add eventually one day, guys. But this is just a self help, a self love. You are worth it, though. Go out there. If I can do it, out of all people, my brother Chuck can do it. There's a lot of good guys out here that and girls that want to see you make it, and you just gotta believe in yourself and take that first step of unknown. It's easier said than, it's a lot harder said than done. But you gotta want it. Nobody's gonna do it for you, so just keep that in mind. But when you do start doing it and you getting the progress down and you're getting the baby steps towards your goals, plans, goals, and dreams is a big thing I stay with. You got to have your plans, set your goals, and then dream big, dream on stuff that you want out of life, and you'll get it sober. You can do it even high and drunk, but it's a lot harder. You can't function that way. So, I mean, by all means, but we're not the normal addicts. I'm not the normal drunk. A little bit turns into a lot of bit and turns into a dead a bit. I'm end up dead. So that's why I can't do that no more. So I'm end up dead. So it's like, I don't want to die. I got too much life to live, and I'm grateful, and I can't say it enough. So it's, yeah. So that's what I say, but just baby steps, guys, and just practice, and then just keep that, make you notes if you have to do notes, if you have to talk to yourself, therapy, whatever kind of groups works. Even if you got to get rid of all your friends and family, the ones that are your self-doubt, and and people that are hurting you, you gotta have to create a new circle. So because the old one ain't working. So just keep that in mind. Progress and just the unknown. We fear the unknown a lot. So the what ifs, that's why we don't do it. We're almost scared of it. We're scared of failing. We're scared of going a little bit, but at least you try. So as long as you're trying, that's all that matters, because we're not perfect. None of us are perfect. We're in here, but we're not looking for perfection. We're just trying to make progress when it's due, and we're doing it. And a lot of other guys just like me are doing the same thing, and they'll be able to move on with their lives and continue to do what they do. And family, it's all about family, friends, and close ones that want to see you do good. If they don't want to see you good, there's not real family. That's not real friends. So if they're putting a bottle in your hand or putting a pipe or telling you let's go run the streets, they're not for you. They're against you.
Or making it okay.
Or making it okay. It's
helping you with that justification.
That enabling. That's not real friends. That's hate. That's they want to see you fail. So you're gonna have to. It's uncomfortable, but the uncomfortability will set you up to a better future. I promise you it will. It's not, but you just gotta run with it and believe in us. When it says it works, it works. So my buddy, he just got his 9 months today.
Yes, sir.
So ANA. So that's a blessing. He's living life, live life, and love living, my friend. So yeah,
Yep, and that's
what it's about.
I mean, yeah, and bro, you hit all the points without any direction. I mean, that's how I say it all the time. You got to want it. You absolutely have to want it. And sometimes that desire is in the wrong place, but that doesn't mean that it's over. You know what I mean? You don't always have to hit rock bottom to realize that, hey, this is not where I want to be. This is not what I want for myself. But then the reaching out is huge, absolutely huge. Regardless of whether it be somebody you meet, or that, like, I never realized how useful, how amazing AANA church, just the people that you meet, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, an automatic click like, oh, hey, this is, you know, this is an amazing person. Reaching out and speaking up for yourself, you know, because nobody knows you're struggling unless you say something, right? So that's, you know, the first step is reaching out for help. Absolutely. And you're always worth it.
Yeah.
Always. Doesn't matter what anybody says, thinks or feels, you know, those are thoughts and opinions. You know, even if you're down on yourself, you know, I mean, there's not a whole lot in the world that you can do, say, think, or feel that, you know, makes you not worth the effort. You know what I mean? So,
damn right.
you know, you gotta go for it. You never know unless you try.
You never know unless you try.
You know what I mean?
Change the whole ball game.
Absolutely.
So, you know, you're not gonna hit the lottery yet, but you will come across a couple fives and a 10. You'll come across something, be able to stabilize you, be able to make something worthwhile, and the patience. I can't express enough the patience. So patience is big because it's not going to happen overnight, guys.
Right.
So just gotta remember that the baby steps towards the bigger picture. And the more you do it, the easier it'll get. And the more your brain will come back, you'll feel good about yourself. You start loving yourself again. And that's what we really need is love. You know, we got to love ourselves and be able to look in that mirror and be okay with the person we see. So, because before we hate that person, we know that person's, you know, it's bad. That person, we have a lot of hurt. And, you know, whether it be, you know, just with the things we've done in our past, you know, all the stuff that self-hurt and we try to box that shit and put it away and hide it, but eventually the feelings come back out again. We just got to address them differently and be able to categorize, you know, how we address because whether it be bipolarness, depression, anxiety, schizo, whatever your problems are, you know, that affect you the most, anger, you got to learn how to channel that to where you're able to deal with it, but deal with it in a healthy manner.
Yeah.
You know, and I deal with a few of those myself, and just or feeling the abandonment or the you know.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, okay. All right, we're back on.
They're spooky.
This is bad. But you know, you just the final thought for that. But just love yourself, and you know, and just take care of yourself. And we love you out there, and whoever's listening to this. And thank you for your time today. And again, you can do it. If we can do it, you can do it. And,
absolutely.
And we'd love to have you on our TED Talk.
So we got garage talks, we got TED Talks. We're doing it big. We're doing it real big. The amount of effort that it takes to ruin yourself is nothing in comparison to the amount of effort that it takes to fix yourself. And that's the hardest. I feel like the hardest part is once you do realize, okay, maybe I'm worth it. It's not just getting into sober living, rehab, AA, NA, whatever the case. The work that you have to put in is pretty substantial. And that goes for anybody. But it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. You're worth it. Right? So, yeah, that's thanks for joining us.
Last thing, guys, I stumbled. I relapsed, and I'm back now because I'm not perfect. I made a very stupid decision to go, and I lost everything. And now I'm building it back. I'm back to where I was. So, you know, just for you guys to know, you might stumble. You might have a relapse, but it's okay. Just get right back to where you started. It's
not about how you fall, when you fall, where you fall. It's about how you pick yourself up and who you are after. Yeah, absolutely. And then we got resources coming here in 2 videos. So 2 videos from now, I have a bunch of resources in my channel information. So keep an eye out for that. But as always, if you need or if you want reach out to us, reach out to me. And if there's something that you need, you're not sure how to go about it or how to get it, just let me know. I'm more than happy to help.
Definitely.
Right?
Vice versa.
So as always, love yourself, read your scriptures. You're worth it. Absolutely worth it. You never know unless you try. All right,
God
my boy.
bless you.
Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Much love. We'll talk to you later.
Stay sober.